Okay, we want to thank everyone for joining us here for the quarterfinal post-game press conference of the 2024 CUSA Basketball Championships. We're joined by Western Kentucky head coach Steve Lutz, by senior forward Rodney Howard, senior guard Brandon Newman. We'll make sure the attending media here in the room in Huntsville have the ability to ask their questions first, then we'll move to the Zoom audience. We ask, if you will, please state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. Thank you for attending. Thanks for your patience. We'll begin with an opening comment from Coach before opening the floor for questions.
Rodney, who'd you pay off to call you a forward? Where'd that come from? Yeah. First time Rodney's been called a forward in a long time. Obviously excited to advance to the next round of the tournament. A lot of times the first one is the hardest one when you get in these situations, but I thought that our guys played extremely hard and left it all out on the floor. And I think that when we play that way and we play unselfishly and we play for one another, we're a pretty good basketball team. And tonight I thought for the most part we did that for darn near 40 minutes.
Questions from the room, please.
Coach Jeff Nations, Bowling Green Daily News. You just coming into this tournament after the recent stretch you guys had, you said that most of the problems were fixable, actually all of the problems. That seemed to be the case tonight. What do you guys do to make that right?
Well, to start the game, I thought our defense was a lot better. Obviously, in the first half, we held them to 29 points, which is pretty darn good. We weren't nearly as effective in the second half, but, give those guys credit. They made some shots, and they were really, really aggressive. As I've said, I think that our team, as we practice better and as we play harder in practice and as we play more for one another in practice and don't worry about our statistics, I think that we're really a good basketball team. And when we've done that, we've won most of our games. It's it's those nights where we don't necessarily do that for 40 minutes where we get ourselves into trouble or, we have it end up being a close game when it shouldn't be because we haven't done what we're supposed to do. So these guys have been great the last 3-4 practices, and I thought that it carried over into the game tonight.
If I give credit to my teammates just passing me the ball and just, continuing to feed me, I got to rely on my, guards to give me the basketball. But, just staying in the gym and just working and just keep going to my right hand.
Just thinking back to the first time you guys played them this year, too. Maybe you don't want to think about that, but obviously they came back on you in the second half, I think, 23 down.
Yep.
Was that something that at all in your mind in this second half, or is that so far back that it really wasn't a factor?
Of course it is. You don't ever lose a game where you're up 26 with 16 minutes to go and forget it. When I'm 75 years old and sitting on the beach in Florida, and I'll still remember that night. It's a nightmare. So you never forget it. And we talked about it a little bit in the timeout. But more so, I just try to talk to the guys about focusing on doing our best, because I think that when we do our best, our basketball team's as good as any basketball team in Conference USA and as good as a lot of teams across the country. But with that being said, there's been nights and there's been segments of each game where we haven't done our best and we haven't been the most connected team. And tonight I thought for the majority of the game that we were very, very connected, especially on the defensive side of the basketball.
No pressure. Like you guys just mentioned, Coach mentioned, all the problems that we were having, during that stretch were fixable. And we came out tonight and put them behind us, plain and simple. Every game is different. The game still has to get played. So 4-game winning streak, 4-game losing streak, we still had to come out tonight and get a win.
How valuable is it for you guys to kind of shorten the rotation a little bit and get some of the reserves in, even for a few minutes with this kind of quick turnaround against Tennessee tomorrow?
No, I think that's obviously one of the things that's a strength of our team. And I talked to our team a lot about this. The highest total minute guy in Conference USA is Tay Hardy with 1,031 minutes. Well, our highest guy was like 826, and that's Don McHenry. So think about that 200 minutes. That's 5 games that Don McHenry's body hasn't had to endure that Tay Hardy's did. And so for a guy like Rodney and Brandon, whose minutes might even be a little bit lower, the cumulative effect of that over the course of a season, man, the dividends that it pays are enormous. Like, you can't cut back on practice a week before Conference USA and think that you're going to have that juice back in your legs and that energy back in your body. It just doesn't happen that way. You know, it's a long season. We're on game. I mean, this was our 20th win. That's what, 7th among all programs in the United States. You know what I mean? It's our 48th season of 20 wins. And that's hard to do. We're on game 31, right? We're on game 31. Yeah. So if these guys have played 200, 300, 400 minutes less than their competitor, I mean, it just makes common sense that you should be fresh and your body should feel better. And when you get into conference tournament play and you have to hook it up and play again at 2 o'clock tomorrow, I mean, these guys are going to get a good night's sleep and they should be ready to go. So it's the way I've always coached, and it's one of the things that's been a staple of our program, and I think these guys have embraced it. They understand it, and now tomorrow we have to go execute at 2 o'clock.
Coach, with past couple games, gone at gotten over 10 points, but the rest of the team really played well today as a well-rounded team effort. You know, how good is it to have the rest of the team, you know, when your leading scorer isn't playing as well as you used to out there?
Yeah, you know, guys, and I said this a couple weeks ago, it depends on how you want to look at the narrative, right? Is the narrative that we've won 6 out of 10, or that we won 6, we lost 4, or what did we win, 5, lost 4, won 1? You know what I mean? It's however you want to spin it. Don McHenry, his confidence is not shaken. He could have had 25 tonight, and I would have never blinked an eye. He could come out on tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and he could drop 30. That's just who he is. So I don't worry about Don scoring 10 points or any of that kind of stuff. We've got plenty of good players on this team, and you know, those guys, when it's time, just like tonight, they just need to step up, and they've done that for the majority of the year. No team's not going to have some highs and lows in the season. It's just part of it. Ours just happened to be on 3 different senior nights on the road, and maybe a couple botch calls by the officials. So it happens, guys. But this should be the best officiating crew for the Conference USA tomorrow and Saturday, and you know, we've got to give it our best.
You got some nice contributions off the bench from a couple other guys too. Christian Lander, I thought, looked the best that he has in a while since probably he came back from the concussion. Obviously, Enoch gave you a nice night too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Christian and Enoch both gave us nice minutes tonight, both offensively and defensively. And maybe when things got a little awry there for a bit and I put Christian at the point, I thought he settled us down and he got us back where we needed to go. And it wasn't just by his scoring. I thought it was, you know, his distributing and those sorts of things as well. So we need everybody to play well. If we're going to win this thing and go to the NCAA tournament, just like Middle Tennessee needs everyone to play well. We need everyone to play well. We need everyone to play together. And, you know, I think that we'll be in a great position.
Just talk about the challenges of playing Middle Tennessee too. This should be a full gym tomorrow, I would think, with the fans of those 2 schools here. What do they present as a problem for you guys?
Well, obviously, they beat us at their place, and we did not do a good job of rebounding the basketball. We did not, excuse me, we did not dominate the inside like we did the first game, and then we lost guys when it was time, and for them to hit threes, you know, and so that spread us out a little bit. And then, you know, at the end of the day, we just didn't play good enough defense, number one. We didn't play together enough, number two, and then, you know, we let them out-compete us, and that was certainly disappointing.
Brandon, with it being MTSU tomorrow afternoon, as the last game ended and how that ended, does it give you a little extra bit of motivation besides everything else that's going on? Does it give you a little bit extra bit of motivation to know how that last game ended? You get a chance for it.
I mean, the score is 1-1. You know, tomorrow, you know, it'll be the third game, the third time playing them, and we both won once during the season. So, we're definitely going to be fired up and ready to go tomorrow.
Further questions? Chris, do we have anybody in the Zoom meeting? Okay. Coach, that is it.
All right, thanks,
Congratulations.
guys. Yep.
See you tomorrow.
Appreciate you.